Hello everyone, welcome to the AMA session, project explanation session. Today we are going to. This is Lakshit Pant, your host for today, and these AMA sessions are for the XROS Open Source Fellowship Program. And today we have Samriddhi here. She is director of House of Krifin, and if do you have any query, any doubt around the project of House of Krifin or maybe Krifin, you can just drop your queries in the comment section. She would be very happy to take up your doubts. Also, she's already present and she has been answering these queries lately, so she is very active in this Slack. So you can drop your queries if you don't know about this. Like there is a channel hashtag a Krifin queries channel, so you can drop your queries right over there. She'd be happy to explain. Samriddhi, let's start the this AMA session. I just wanted to know from your side, like if you could give a quick brief about you first, then about organization, it would be helpful.
Okay, so talking about House of Griffin, I think it is very well summarized on the website itself that we are a no-code platform for luxury. We are trying to create a multiplayer environment with various different international brands and Indian brands which have high international recognition being displayed in a metaverse game-like environment. What we are trying to achieve by this is that we are trying to decentralize the very idea of luxury at this point. By that, what I mean is uh, the luxury in its very own self has been attached with the idea of being wealthy or being rich, or the concept of not being able to have luxury is very well rooted within the community as of now. And what we're trying to achieve here is that we want everyone, every single individual on the face of planet earth should be able to experience what does luxury actually mean. Because ultimately, when you're on this planet, and being able to experience the highest form of desire is something that everybody wants. Okay, so this is something that we are trying to make available to everyone, and that's the main vision for us. The reason that we are working with several international designers so far is that we already came into the metaverse and the blockchain industry, to be specific, around 2 years back. The idea at that time was to provide a counterfeit protection system to various luxury brands, because counterfeit is a major issue for several luxury brands. And this particular algorithm that we developed for them, utilizing the ledger technology on blockchain, is something that is integrated within our platform as well. And the people who will be getting into the fellowship and working with us would also get to know more about it. Then, secondly, we are not just focused on giving out metaverse retail. We're also trying to create a new form of wellness where people can experience different forms of environment, different forms of luxurious scenarios in which can be translated into mental wellness. They will be having integrated AI into them, and the pointer that the particular thing that I really like about it myself is that we are collaborating with various different organizations, including the Metaverse Council, which is an international body, and the CAM Lab Association, and various international institutions, including IITs and all. So the idea behind it was to create a wellness center, and in that, the main aim is to provide immortality. So one of our highest, like there are 13 different levels of luxury that we have created. So it's basically behind the idea behind it was there are 7 different levels of heaven and 7 different levels of hell. So to find a middle ground there. So there are 13 different levels of Griffin to experience the heaven that is on earth. That was the idea behind the levels. However, the highest form of luxury that we're offering is the immortality. Now, digital immortality is one of the concepts that we're developing in this, and this is the last of all things that, like the last level of the entire experience that is being provided on our platform. And in this, what is being done is that a person would be able to talk to himself, a reflection, for a stipulated amount of time, in which the data would be profiled for that person. And post that, the human, the avatar that would be created, would be in a way capable of doing and operating in the scenarios in the metaverse environment on its own right. Like if you're sleeping, the person, the other, your digital twin would be able to access the environment and do your work and complete the task within the stipulated amount of time. And for creating this, we are not just utilizing the metaverse, like the gaming engine or the XR or the VR platforms. We're also integrating AI into it. We are doing a lot of work with the blockchain technology in order to make it unique, because every avatar has to be unique in order to be that the digital twin, to be your signature twin in every environment, and it does not get copied, or you are not like making 10,000 of yourself. Like 10,000 copies of yourself would be a little too much, and we don't really hope that is something that a person would try to do. There are several repercussions as well that we are considering while actually developing something like this, which is the reason that we're working with several different councils, several different governing bodies, in order to maintain ethical and moral ground for the things that we are developing. We don't want the kind of technology that is coming into play. It's highly immersive, and it can be utilized in several different arenas. And we just want that it should be used for the best possible reasons and not for something that might not be considered ethical. And that's one of the things that we are trying to achieve. I think that is a very holistic answer for the question that you asked me. And
Yeah.
yeah, moving on to your next question.
Yeah, so there has been a lot of things. So I just wanted to first go with this question. So you have mentioned multiple tech stack that you have shared with us, like C Sharp, Proton Engine, Unity 3D, Blender, 3GS, and so on. So this sounds legit to me. I just wanted to have a word around AWS. Like you have mentioned AWS there. So how does this AWS will work? Is it for the hosting the website, or maybe triggering the signal or transferring it to over the cloud? It is you are using the AWS. Because why am I asking this question? Because there will be some 3D designers who might not be familiar with AWS, because that's a different niche, we could say, right? Basically cloud is a different domain, and designing those who are working with Unity 3D or these Blender things, they might not be working with these cloud hosting things. So I just wanted to know from your side, like what this AWS thing is doing right exactly here.
Well, you very rightly said it's basically for hosting. We will be having a lot of data. When we say that we'll be providing admin access to several different designers, to several different retail outlets, it means that a lot of data would be recorded. And for that, we would be requiring high energy, like highly powered servers. And I think that AWS is offering the best. We might also be working with Google Cloud at this point, because we're also backed by Google, and they have been providing us a lot of support in terms of the infrastructure. So if someone is not familiar with AWS but rather has experience with the Google Cloud, they can always apply to the program and they will be considered for it. Another thing that we'd like to mention is that, since we have mentioned a lot of different tech stacks, one point to note in this is you are not supposed to be proficient in each one of them. If you think that you have really remarkable skills in any one of them, that is completely all right. You are completely capable of being accepted into the program and to work with us. These different tech stacks are basically standalone languages that will be working, like with which we are working at this as of now. So there are different teams that we have for each one of them, one working with the front end part, the 3D development part, the different team that is working with the interaction part. So you might be working just with the team that is working on Proton Engine, making voice chat possible, making how other users going to interact with each other, how's the admin going to interact with the user. So all of these different things are being there. And AWS hosting, I think that is the most back end operation that we're working on. We don't really think that interns would be able to manage that. I don't want to sound too cocky about it, but still. So this, you don't really have to worry. We want people to learn about this environment, and we are always there to help. I mean, this is a mentorship program, so we obviously think of it as people coming to us so that they can learn more about the XR environment, like the XR program, the applications in this field, what are the new technologies that are coming into play, and make something big out of this as well. I mean, later on, they do their own projects and build something that is as useful.
Yeah, and while answering this question, you have really made a very exciting statement. Like, and all these tech stacks are standalone tech stacks. That's a really big statement. I hope that will increase the number of proposals on the House of Krifin organization. I hope so, because there are so many tech stack that increases the possibility of people applying to it and going through these projects, because multiple people, multiple developers or designers, these are having this query in the mind: shall I need to learn all the tech stack that I
Yeah.
mentioned? That is obviously no. You need to So
You
multiple
cannot
organization
do that.
majority. Yeah,
Yeah,
please.
I mean that's not humanly possible. First of all, to be a master of all the things. Specifically, another thing to note is that this is basically for students who are recent graduates or the people who are in their final year of study. So we don't expect them to know every single language or every single tech stack that is available in the market. But we do expect that you are master of that one skill. You don't have to master 100 skills, you just have to be really good in one thing. So let's say that you're a really amazing 3D developer. We are like, we will love to have you, because I think 3D development is one of the things that we really, I mean, we always want a fresh perspective in the development, because that is the area where we bring in the creative part. That's the area which actually thinks and strategize how would the entire appeal of this environment or the scenario is going to look like. So it's more of how creative you are in that area, and not how, you know, proficient you are with the language and how many different frameworks you can use and all of that. I'm not sure if I'm there anymore. Well, it looks like that it's just me.
Yeah, I'm really sorry for that. My internet connection just broke. I'm really sorry for that. Now
We
I
all
just,
understand. Yeah.
yeah, so I just wanted to add some few more queries. So you have already answered a couple of questions that I was looking forward to question. So now moving on to the proposal side, because these fellows have started making their proposals. I just wanted to know your views. What a best ideal proposal looks like according to you, and was the key recipe or was the secret sauce to get selected in the House of Griffin, and how should they phrase the proposal or structure the proposal according to you?
Well, I don't think that there's a standard framework for anything. We are a creative company, first of all. Okay, we are trying to build a new reality, and you know, this is an emerging industry again. So, be as creative as you can be. We don't really expect you to follow a standard format. We never encourage that, even amongst our employees. We want you to bring in your new perspective, like show us the best that you can give to us, to the community, and how can you best contribute. Make sure that you do highlight your strong suits. Like we mentioned about the 3D modeling, if you're an amazing 3D modeler, then show us your portfolio. We would also like to see if you have some past experience. Have you worked with someone before? What was that? Also, if you can make some suggestions, you can go through the entire, like you have the website, you have the GitHub links, all of that. If you can make your own suggestions about what could be done, what could the future possibly look like working with House of Griffin, that would be amazing. We'd like to know your perspective too. And I think that's it. That's literally it. Just be as creative as you can be. Make your own unique perspective. That's all we want from you.
Yeah, and I'll encourage you, all of the developers, to explore more and more about. If you are just focus on one particular organization, explore the organization first, then their projects, like what they are doing, what engines they are using, what tech stack they are using. Though we have made it very simple for you, we have mentioned everything on the portal, but still, if you will do your exploration by self, it
Yeah.
will really increase your chance of getting selected. And this is how you can, just because research is really good thing. Now, I just wanted to go to the comment section there, because there are multiple questions I can see. Okay, so there is one question on the basis of time, like how much time these guys needs to devote for the particular project that you mentioned.
Well, it's an ongoing project, to be honest, from our side as well. But ideally, I think on a day to day basis, we don't expect you to work more than 8 hours a day. That's the standard, because it's a proper fellowship, and you will be compensated for your time here with us. We want you to learn as much as possible. And I think 8 hours a day would be a fair amount of time for anyone working, getting a real environment of how it is to work with a corporate company or a startup as well. Apart from that, on a like we do not work on Saturdays or Sundays. So sometimes Saturdays we do have meetings to strategize over a cup of coffee. You know, while you're sitting at your home, you can have your own coffee, and but that's it. And Saturdays are mostly half days. Apart from that, that's it. I
Okay.
guess that's the time commitment that we require, and the program tenure is 3 months. So I guess you will be with us for the next 3 months.
Yeah, I just have a quick follow-up question for the answer that you have just showed up. That is around that's the ongoing project you said, right? So I just wanted to know, so for the exploration of these developers, how much the project is being done, like is it look, so if do you have any certain milestone, like there is a certain milestone at 100%, so out of that 100%, how much project is done, and from where these developers or these designers are going to start?
So we've already, like, it's already under development, and I'd say that we are 50% there. I mean, with the basic frameworks, with the avatars, with the entire functionality systems, all of that is already there with the 3D development part. I think we are at the stage where we are developing a certain new areas and certain new arenas, because the basic Krifin metaverse is already in place. And with the multiplayer functionality right now, the environment that we have, the entire infrastructure that we have, it's mostly for the single player environment. It's for a single player VR ecosystem, and we want to make it a multiplayer one. So I think that is one of the places where the people can actually be a part of.
So there is a query in your screen, if you could address this, like is this
Yeah.
application supposed to be compatible for only VR headsets?
Not really. We will make it accessible both for as a PC application and as a VR application. So these are two main things that we're trying to work at. We're not focusing on web or mobile applications as of yet, though we will be doing it in future. But I think in the next 3 months you will only be working on the PC ones and for the VR ones. I mean, they both are almost same. So
Yeah, and I just wanted to answer this question, Aniket. Yes, for from other project perspective, I'm just telling you, yes, there can be a possibility of this, because because this is how open source work, right? You are working on a
yeah.
single project, but on different features. This is how the this open source thing works. But still, Samriddhi, if you could answer this question in your on the perspective of your organization.
So what the question that I can see as of right now is it the case that multiple people will be selected for one specific project to work different parts of the project?
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I guess yes. That's how it will work. One specific person would be working on one specific part of the project. Yes, that's exactly
exactly.
how it will be working.
Yeah, and so I just wanted to give you a quick heads up. Like you have been pretty active in the Slack, I can see. But still, if there are any resources, or maybe any documentation, it can be, or anything, or any videos, or maybe if you can specify what's your end goal, that 100% milestone that you are willing to achieve. What's this? So if you could mention that over the Slack channel, because not everyone is right over here in the EMA session, but if you can mention all these points in for us in a salient feature, it would be really helpful for these guys to make a good proposal and submit to you, and explore the project, right? So yeah, this is all I want to say. And guys, if you have any questions, any queries, just let us know in the comment section, uh, because that's it from our side. If you want to explore more, if you want to, because she's already there and she's already in this lecture, you can ask anytime any query. She'll be and please, I'll encourage you, don't please not try to DM, direct message her, because these mentors needs to answer the same question multiple times. So this is not how it works. If you can answer in the Slack channel, it would be, if you can question in the Slack channel, it would be really helpful, because other can read the threads and they can just go through the question, and they can just simply you can save the mentor's time, right? And
Right.
also, yeah. And I just wanted to mention one more point through this AMA, because now, because as people have started making proposals, they are sending the proposals to me, or to the mentors. Please don't do that, because plagiarism is the biggest issue here. If by any chance you are sharing your proposal to anyone who is in the community, and who can share it to other person, that will be a problem for you. So please don't share your proposal to anyone, and we can't review your proposal, but because that's not the fair judgment, because we can review 10 proposals, then what, how about other 10k peoples who are waiting, who are applying to the fellowship? So this is not how the fair way to judge all these proposals for every project, right? So please don't try to ask us to review the proposals, because it won't be possible to review every project, then scrutinize the project. That is the only step. You just take your time, explore the project, and submit your proposal, right? And Samriddhi, at last, if you want to say anything that could be beneficial for these developers or these designers, if you are feel free to share.
Well, as a closing statement, I think we will be sharing some more resources in the light of the fact that you'd like to know more about the end vision of the end product of this entire thing. Well, and another thing is that House of Griffin would be continuously in development as per our roadmap as of now. for the next 2 years. And that's one of the reasons we made it open source, so that people can also be a part of it and actually develop it. What I can do for the community and everyone is, we can share our roadmap plans for the next 3 4 like 6 months, I'd say. And you can actually go through it, look at the entire all the things that we'll be developing. It would be a very very rough draft one. We won't be sharing the details in that, but yes, you'll get an idea about what we are trying to build and how we are trying to do it. The only thing is that, just like, after that, don't ask specific questions on that. It would be hard to answer on that. So I'm just giving it a disclaimer that I won't be answering any specific questions about how we are going to do it, what are you planning after this. Like, it would just be a roadmap about what the whole thing would look like and what are the steps that we're going to take to actually make it happen. So I think that would be really helpful for everyone who is making the proposal. And yeah, I'm looking forward to read your applications. It would be really exciting to see what you guys bring in. And
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward as well for the same. And yeah, so you also, if while sharing the doc or maybe the roadmap that you will be sharing, please mention this point very, very clearly in bold statements. Please don't
that I
cross
won't be
it.
taking any more
Yeah,
questions on this.
yes,
This is the
yeah,
last time that you're going to hear from me on this project. And if you
yes,
have any questions for your application, that's fine, but not on the roadmap. We'll
yeah,
mention
and
that. I'll take care of
yeah,
it.
exactly. That's perfect. And there is one last question for me from Akansh. Any guy to choose. So Akansh, there are so many companies. You don't need to focus on every company. You don't need to jump on every company. You can choose any particular organization. If you have any mind, if you have any thought like you want to work with this particular organization, you can explore. If you found the tech stack or maybe the project description legit to yourself, relevant to your skills, then you should definitely go for more exploring and researching on the project, on the organization specifically, right? But choosing a company won't be a, it's not a tough nut to crack, I guess, because it's all about your skills, like where you fit in, where do you think you will be a perfect fit. You will be working with only single organization for these 3 months if you get selected, right? You won't be working with multiple organizations. These four proposals, out of these four companies, you will be, if you get, I hope you will get selected for every four company. I wish you get selected for every company you submit the proposal. But you will be having a choice to work with only single company, right? So don't jump on multiple companies or projects. Just try to stick with one and give your best out in these proposals. This is your time. And yeah, best of luck from my side. And thank you, Samriddhi, for giving us your time. It was nice having you here, nice hosting you here, and looking forward for these applications. And I'm very excited for the fellowship. Thank you.
Have a nice day, everyone. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye bye.